I'm so sick and fed up of men using the argument, it's not all men, it's not all men. So I'm going to draw this out for you. Okay, so at the bottom, we have the worst of the worst. We have rapists, pedophiles, murderers, you're in jail, you're a horrible person. We can all unanimously agree as a society these are very, 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 very bad people. Okay, that's bottom of the bottom. And then we have a little scale. And then at the top here, we have men who speak up for women, men who advocate for women, men who protect women, and men who confront all of the other men. That's where you're missing me. I'm not saying it's a 50-50 scale of good and bad. I'm saying that this is a slow blended gradient between good and bad. And no matter where you fall on here, if you're not here, I don't like you.
Yo, what is going on, guys? So I'm going to be responding to this clip of this clinically insane woman who went viral recently. Okay, so that video that you just saw some of just now, it has like 1.3 million likes on it. All the comments essentially are just women agreeing with her and hyping her up. And as you saw, the video was her defending herself by saying that she hates all men. Okay, so she was trying to justify why she's, coming out here and she says that she hates all men. And this was her justification video. Okay, so she made this video and she comes out here and says, well, there are lots of bad men, but all the other men, they don't even speak up. They don't speak up for women. They don't speak out against the men who mistreat women. And she goes on to say at the end of the video something like, oh, only 0.3% of men will distance themselves from very bad guys and speak out against that behavior and speak up for women. Let's get something very clear from the beginning, okay? I don't know a single man, never met one, never seen one, who thinks that mistreating women in terrible ways is a good thing. I have never, in fact, guys, you go to prisons, okay? If you go look at prison populations and stuff like this, even the criminals who are locked up in prisons don't like men who mistreat women. If you're a man and you go to prison for example, mistreating a woman, I'm putting that very lightly, by the way. You go to a prison for mistreating a woman or mistreating a child, you are going to be treated very poorly by the inmates in there, because even the dudes who are career criminals have an issue with men who mistreat women.
I don't like you. So no, when I say I don't like men, that's because the majority of men do not fall here. If you as a man get your shit together and get here, you have my love, you have my support. But you don't, because you don't care, because all of the men that fall here do not affect you. And we're gonna talk about this.
But this woman's trying to make it out, guys, like, we don't care, that men in general, we're totally fine with the terrible things that happen to women. Obviously not. This is stupid, okay? Obviously, more than 0.3% of men would distance themselves from men who do these awful acts towards women and stuff like this. But in her head, she thinks that every guy is, we're just out here accepting murderers, okay? Like we are taking the side of murderers. It's completely ridiculous, completely and utterly ridiculous. Now, here's the thing. The reason why men don't speak up for women is because you say things like you hate us. Let me ask you this, okay? If you expect men to come out here and advocate for your rights, which I don't even know what rights they're typically talking about, aside from unaliving their own children, if you want men to come out here, you want men to speak up for women, whatever the hell that means, okay? Maybe step one would be saying that you don't hate all men. Like if I wanted women to come to my side, if I wanted women to support men and the issues that men face in life, I wouldn't come on the internet and say, hey guys, I dislike all, I hate all women, and then try and justify saying that. That's really stupid. That's not a good approach. If you want men on your side, it's probably not a good idea to say that you hate 99.7% of men is what she said that she disliked. Okay? Like this woman is clinically insane. You can tell she thinks she's very intelligent with this little chart that she drew. You can tell that she thinks she's saying something of meaningful value, but she's not at all.
So, like I said, bottom of the barrel, we have our bottom 10%. you're in jail, you're a bad person. We can all unanimously agree that you're bad people. There's so many different pinpoints of the type of men that could fall on the bad side, and then the men that fall into excusing it. Almost all men excuse other men because you're obsessed with male validation. So we have murderers, rapists, and then we have woman beaters, wife beaters. We have Chris Brown, all the men that still have very successful careers, you know, convicted but excused because he's grown, he's found God, whatever. Cancel him out. And then we have, oh, well, she wasn't that drunk. I didn't know she was that drunk. And like, yeah, like, it's not that big of a deal. And, you know, I didn't know. You cancel them out. How was he supposed to know? Oh, he didn't mean to assault her. Okay. And then we have a little grope on the subway. We have, I'm going to touch your waist to get behind you at the club. I'm going to say, oh, you're ugly anyways. And I'm going to harass women. You excuse him. You know, he probably has a mental disorder. Okay. He didn't know that you weren't into, okay. And then we have, what would even fall here? What would even fall here? Cheaters, liars, manipulators, people who purposely harm women and then face no repercussions because they believe they're above women. Before you get mad, have none of your friends ever cheated on their girlfriends and you said nothing. You excuse them.
And I want to stress this, guys, okay? This woman is complaining, okay, that men don't stick up for women, but she's actively expressing hatred towards men online and getting praised for it. Okay, so guys, if I jump online and I criticize women and I say negative things about women, I guarantee you this woman would think that I'm on the bad side of her little chart. You know, she'd put me on the terrible man side. Okay? But of course, she can jump online, she can criticize men, she can claim that we're all aligned with men who commit horrible crimes towards women. She can say all of that and get totally praised for it. Make that make sense. Like, again, guys, if you said the same crap that this woman said towards women, you would get deplatformed. You would get fired from your job. You certainly wouldn't, you know, if you tried to make a TikTok account, my goodness, you would not get, you would get banned. Let me make this clear. You would get banned so quickly. You wouldn't be able to get to 1.3 million likes like she did without getting banned. That's not even a thing. Like, if you're a dude and you post content that is even slightly critical of women over on something like TikTok or maybe even Instagram, really, you are going to get banned so damn quickly. It's not even funny. Okay? And let me make something else clear, okay? The men who are leaving, right? The men who are not sticking up for women, these aren't necessarily bad men, okay? Like, a lot of these good guys, these men who actually do care about women, do you know what happens when they try and follow the directions of women? You know, in terms of dating or approaching women or trying to protect them, for example, from physical harm. I mean, these women think that bears are more safe than us. So let me ask you this question, okay? Why should men protect you? Why should men speak up for you? Why should men do all of these things for you when, number one, you don't like us? Number two, we get persecuted by the law for approaching you. If we, you know, if we approach you in the wrong way, expect to end up in court, guys. Like, that's how bad this crap is. Okay, I'm not saying that every woman is going to put you through a court case, but these women are expecting things where the consequences for men can actually be life ruining. You know, like, you have violence, you have situations where women are getting in trouble physically, shall we say. If you're a guy and you intervene to protect people in the modern day in Western societies, expect to catch a court case at this point. You know, oh, he touched me inappropriately, as the man saves you from a violent situation. You know, again, like, this is why men don't want to touch this crap. They don't want to speak up with you because you don't like them. You told us to leave you alone. You said that you didn't need us. You said that you were strong and independent. And men simply said, okay, fine. Now, does that mean I'm going to, you know, support men who do awful things to other people? No, I don't really care what gender you, I think most men are the same, okay? They don't like people who are needlessly violent towards others. They don't like people who go out there and do horrific things, obviously. Okay? But don't expect men to take your side in the womanist battle and speak up for the rights of women when you don't like them. Don't expect them to approach you when you tell them not to approach you. Okay? Don't expect them to speak out for you when you don't want men speaking. Don't expect them to support you financially when you say that you're strong and independent. You would think that all of this stuff, by the way, is just common sense, right? Because all of this is just listening to women. Women literally told us these things, guys. Like, if you're a man, you have probably heard many times in your life that women don't want to be approached. Okay? Stay away from women in the gym. Okay? Don't approach women. Men heard this message loud and clear, and men are logical people. They don't assume, some secondary meaning. Like, if you tell a man that you're uncomfortable with something, 99+% of men are just going to say, okay, no problem, no more of that. I don't want to cause any discomfort towards women. I don't want them to feel unsafe or anything like that. Men are logically going to listen to what you have to say, and they're going to say, fine, I'm not going to approach women.
And now we'll fall into here. You are a good guy. You treat your girlfriend great. You have female friendships. You have a good relationship with your mom, but you don't speak up because it doesn't concern you. I don't like you. And then we have, like, you don't really associate with those guys. You would cut your guy friends off, but, like, you don't want to cause any drama. So you're going to continue being friends with men who maybe fall here or here, but not here, because, you don't want to cause any drama. You don't like the conflict. I don't like you. And then we have here. You would remove yourself from the situation. You're not a huge fan of it. Like, it's just, you see a bad guy, you cut them off. Your friend cheats on a woman, you cut them off. Your friend beats a woman, you cut them off. You're fine. You're safe. You're a bitch, but you're safe. And then we have the top maybe 0.3% of men who genuinely fucking care about women and would cut their friends off for doing something like that. They do hold their friends accountable. They do speak up for women and protect women. So when I say I hate all men, you're not giving me much room. You're not giving me any room. You guys want to fucking get yourself up here and care about women? Sure, you have my support. You have my vote. You are the problem. You cannot be mad at women for seeing shit like it is when you are the problem. Thank you.
And again, the risk is just way too high with crap like this, guys. Like, what's funny? I think a lot of the dudes who claim to be advocates for women are oftentimes the men who are mistreated the most by women, by the way. Because again, like, if you become a womanist, right, you're on the side of women, you stand with women, oftentimes these women don't respect you. They think you're a creep, they mistreat you. You're a quote unquote ally to them. But of course, they don't like you. You think the women in these comment sections of these TikTok videos like the men who speak up for them, quote unquote, whatever the hell that means? No, of course not. And one more thing I wanted to mention on the topic of speaking up for women and against men who have done terrible things. Men don't typically have an issue speaking out against men as long as they are proven to have done the thing. Okay, what I mean by this, guys, is a lot of women these days, they will falsely accuse a man and then just expect everyone to take your side. I'm not taking your side. Okay, I'm sincerely not. I want proof. I want evidence. Right? I don't want some biased jury trial where a bunch of womanists are on the panel. Okay, I want some proof. If you come out here and you accuse men and you expect men to take the side of you and agree that the man that you're, making an accusation against is a terrible guy, you better have some evidence. This is no longer the age of, oh, I'm just going to believe all women simply because they say crap. No. Does that mean that men are against women? No, it just means that men are against women who are lying. And the funny part is, I bring this up fairly often whenever I talk about this stuff, guys, is like, the women who are lying about this crap have caused a lot of damage. The women who genuinely have, who have been through situations that are really terrible. Because the problem is you have so many women who just lie about men that it makes the women who are telling the truth, it makes it so much harder for them. Like, you can be a woman who goes through something terrible, but let me tell you something, like, these days, people aren't really, men in particular are not just going to believe you because you say so. It's like the boy who cried wolf story, right? Is like, if you gaslight men and you lie too many times, what's going to happen is people are going to take away that goodwill of them believing you and taking your side and whatever else. And they're just going to say, no, I'm only going to take your side if you have proof that at the very minimum stands up in the court of law, at the minimum. Okay. And even then, guys, let's be real. A lot of these judges are like womanists. A lot of these people are obviously going to very much so be against men. I think we've all seen divorce courts and things like that. It's just completely ridiculous. But anyway, to summarize this whole thing, man, this video that this woman has made is not going to make men want to take your side whatsoever. It makes you look insane. It makes you look like you dislike men, which you clearly do. Again, this whole video was a justification for her saying why she was able to say that she hates all men. I mean, and then these same women rock up at 35 years of age. They've got their collection of cats, and they wonder why, no men want to deal with them. Absolutely classic. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.